All right, welcome back, crime fighters. Those of you who are still in town, I know we got a lot of people out and about on summer vacations doing various things this time of the year, and we hope you're having fun doing all those things and staying safe while you're doing them as well. Remember, if you are going to be traveling out of state, there are different laws in different states that govern what you can and can't do while driving a vehicle. And I know Georgia's got a new law that's going to be taking effect here in just a couple of weeks, July 1st, a new hands-free law that will greatly restrict what you are allowed to do with your cell phones and other devices while you are driving a vehicle. So if you're going to be traveling out of state this summer on your summer vacation, make sure you know what the laws are wherever you are traveling. And even if the law doesn't say you can't do this, please, while you're driving, be focused on the driving. We need to keep everybody safe and let everybody get back from their vacations in one piece. All right, let's talk about the crime fighting that you've helped us do here over the last week. 6 more individuals located thanks to the information that you shared with the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. These are 6 people who you helped us find, and we appreciate that. We've got a little over a dozen more people that we want your help finding this week, and we will share that information with you here in just a few minutes. We'll be right back after this break with this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston Stroud with Family Links, and this is the Family Tip of the Week. With more than half of all marriages ending in divorce, dating has become a whole new animal. More often than not, the people re-entering the dating pool after their marriages end are now adding children to their dating resumes. So it's not surprising that when 2 people meet, fall in love, and get married, they each have kids. So how do you successfully merge your families? Number 1, communicate before you cohabitate. No matter how great the relationships are between you and your new mate and between the step-siblings, once it's time to move in together, things will get tricky. Be prepared. Before you cohabitate, have family meetings. Kids are smart and should be included in the decision-making, especially when it comes to things that are going to change their current setup. If they feel like they're part of the process, they will be less anxious about the unknown. Number 2, consistency counts. Not only are families merging, but rules, discipline styles, and communication tactics are also coming together. You and your mate need to come to agreements on how to handle everything from bedtimes to homework to household chores. If there's a consistent message for the kids coming from both of you on what's right and what's wrong, it'll make the transition for the children and you easier. Number 3, check in so they don't check out. Silence doesn't mean acceptance. Everyone needs to feel heard, especially a child in a newly blended family. Regular family meetings are a must. Use them as a time to talk about what's working and what's not, what's been frustrating and what's been fun. Ask everyone to come up with ideas for how to bond. Maybe you make a date with just kids and vice versa. The bottom line, be sure you know how every child in the family's feeling. Be prepared to fail, and that's okay. With so many personalities coming together, there's bound to be some bumps in the road, and you and your mate and the kids will make mistakes. If you prepare yourself for the inevitable ups and downs that come along with blended families, you'll reduce stress, anxiety, and disappointment. And in the end, what matters most is that you're all together. Remember, raising a blended family comes with its share of obstacles. With patience and a positive attitude, the blended family can be one filled with love, respect, and admiration. For more tips, please call Family Links at 256-820-5911.
All right, here we go with this week's lineup of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We'll have the first half now and then the second half here in a few minutes. We start off with Terry Moncrief of Ohatchee, wanted on a probation violation for receiving stolen property, 2nd degree. Vincent Warren of Anniston is wanted on a failure to appear warrant for multiple NWNI, which is passing bad checks in plain English. Dana Poole of Ohatchee wanted on bond revocations for possession of a controlled substance, 5 counts, and illegal possession of prescription drugs. Melvin Brasher of Anniston wanted on a bond revocation for the manufacture of a controlled substance. Matthew Wilson of Piedmont wanted on probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. Glenn Morris of Jacksonville wanted on probation violation for possession of a forged instrument, 1st degree. That's the first half of this week's lineup. If you have any information about anybody we just showed you, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers. They want your information, not your name, and you could get a cash reward of up to $1,000. Call 256-238-1414. All right, we will have some more bad guys for you in just a few minutes, but right now, Matt Garrett is one of the good guys, and he is joining us to talk about Foothills Day Camp, which is coming up. Matt, how you doing, Matt?
I'm doing well.
And you just love camping, don't you?
That's right.
Because I know we've been on Cub Scout camps with you before.
Yes.
And you're still involved with that.
Yes, and we're not too far removed. Young people, camp, all connected there.
So Foothills Day Camp is not a scouting camp, though. This is a different camp completely.
Yes.
We don't want to get anybody confused. Let's talk about Foothills Day Camp. I know that my sister-in-law is involved in this every year, and she just absolutely loves it.
Yes. Foothills Day Camp is very special. It's a great opportunity to get people together who may usually not get together from different backgrounds, and to come together and just build bridges in the community to get to know each other on a personal level. It's really neat.
Yeah, I loved when I went to summer camp as a kid. What I really loved, especially when I got to be the junior high level, I went to Camp Sematong over in St. Clair County, which is a Methodist camp, and when you got there, you don't know all the other people around you, and all that baggage that builds up in your life. You carry that with you to school every day, and what happened 2, 3, 4 years ago with your other classmates, they still remember that, and it's accumulated all this junk that you're carrying around personally, that you think about yourself and that other people think about you. I'm not good enough at this, or I made this mistake back then that they won't let go. When you go to camp, it's a whole different group of people, and none of that's there. It's just you and them and a bunch of fun activities.
Yeah. There's something about getting away from the hustle and bustle of life, getting away from the media and the screens, and coming out into God's creation, and you're able to connect on another level with each other and with God.
Yeah, and you make these friends that I know for me and for several other people, maybe you see them for 1 week out of the year. Maybe it's just that 1 year, but sometimes it's multiple years in a row, and you make those connections that are lifelong friendships, and special friendships that are different in a way from some of your other friendships, and fill in a different part of your life there. And you mentioned God, so this is a camp that is involved with the church, and God is very much a part of this camp.
Yes. Grace Episcopal Church it sponsors this camp at Camp Lee. They help as well, sponsor as well. But the rector at Grace, Lee Schaefer, she went and worked with Sawyerville Day Camp, which is a camp in South Alabama in the Black Belt that is sponsored by the Episcopal Diocese of Alabama for decades. And she went and worked there, and she said, we could do this in Anniston. And so when she came back, she brought the idea to the church there at Grace, and they said, let's do it. And so now we're on our 7th year of Foothills Day Camp.
That is awesome. All right, so when is it going to be?
It's going to be, this year it's going to be July 16th through the 20th at Camp Lee, and the staff come in on July 15th.
Is it still something that's open that people can say, my kid would like to go, or have we passed that window? Or?
We're past that window as far as staff applications. The staff has been selected, but as far there may be a waiting list. You can contact Grace Episcopal Church and ask if I have a child that would like to participate. And sometimes kids decide they don't want to come, and so we call them up, and the others that are on the waiting list can come. But we are limited because of our facilities. Camp Lee only handles so many, so we are limited in that aspect.
But it's a great facility out there.
It's a great facility, yes.
The zip line, are you going to be utilizing the zip line?
We do the zip line, yes.
They've got two there. They've got one that's been there forever that goes down into the water and you zip into the lake, which is cool. And then they've got another one that's one of the longest individual lines anywhere, and it comes up over the lake, and it's awesome.
But our campers tend to go into the lake there and then
get baptized.
Yeah, and then and there's swimming, canoeing. Yes, the zip line as well. We have games and music, lots of music, and then we eat there at the camp. It's a lot of fun.
Music.
Yes,
Camp
we sing camp songs. Yes, sir.
Where would life be without camp songs?
Yes.
And then you bring the kid will go away for a week, and then they come back and it's a different kid that's got all these songs that they want to sing in the car every time you get in the car.
I get complaints from parents about that song. We hear it every time we get in the car. Yeah.
Do you do the ham sandwich song?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh, I'll have to teach you that one.
Okay.
But not on television.
Okay.
Some
We do.
great
We
camp
sing
songs.
"Drop Kick Me Jesus" through the goalposts of life. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
That's a classic.
Yeah. Yep. It's a fun one.
Nothing beats camp songs. All right, so these kids obviously going to come out there. They're going to get hot and they're going to get sweaty and they're going to get some exercise. Of course, they've got some air-conditioned facilities as well. You're not just going to leave the kids out there dehydrating during the day. But they're not going to be sitting at home all week on the video game or watching TV shows the whole time. It's tough for parents during the summer, especially now that so many of us, we've got single-parent homes and we've got homes where both the parents are working, and kids at summertime are often left by themselves.
Yeah, well, they will not be left by themselves at Foothills Day Camp.
Yeah.
We have counselors that follow around their little group everywhere they go, participate with them in the swimming, in the zip line, in the canoeing, in all the games and fun, and even in the singing as well. So.
Awesome. All right, well, we need to take a quick break, but we'll be back to talk some more about this in just a second, and we'll have the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, here we have the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Edna Ford of Huntsville, wanted on a failure to appear warrant for 4 counts of receiving stolen property. Brandon McCurdy of Gadsden, wanted on a failure to appear warrant for obstructing justice using a false ID and possession of marijuana, first degree. Corey Fuller of Anniston, wanted on a failure to appear warrant for possession of a controlled substance. John Harris of Jacksonville, wanted for use and possession of drug paraphernalia. Eric Hatter of Anniston, wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. And Gene Parker of Piedmont, wanted for receiving stolen property, first degree. Again, if you have any information about these cases, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. All right, we'll talk about some property crimes that we need your help solving here in just a few minutes. But right now we're talking about Foothills Day Camp, not Day Hills. I haven't had enough caffeine yet today. All right, Foothills Day Camp. Matt Garrett is with us, and one of the cool things we were talking about during the commercial break, Matt, is that it's kind of 2 camps in one. You've got the younger kids that are having the day camp, but then the older kids that are the counselors there for the day camp, they've kind of got their own camp going when the younger kids are gone.
Yes, we have high school age students and college age students that apply and are selected to be staff for our Foothills Day Camp. And they're trained the day before on the 15th, and then they go out to Camp Lee and they stay at the camp in the bunkhouses, and then they staff the camp during the day, and then when the campers are bussed out, they have time to relax, reflect on what went good, what went bad, and then to engage in the activities there at camp themselves.
And one thing that we didn't mention before about this camp is that there's a lot of camps that parents are pulling out their wallets and they're pulling out a lot of money to send their kids to camp, and there's so many kids that's just not an option in their family. It can't happen for them.
Yes.
These kids are not paying to go to this camp.
Foothills Day Camp is a free camp, so we rely heavily on a lot of sponsorships in the community, Grace, Camp Lee, to make it possible.
All right, so
and also individuals.
And anybody that's watching this saying, that's a great thing that they're offering this, and I'd like to support it with $5 or however much, there's a way they can do that.
There's a GoFundMe page for Foothills Day Camp. You can access that at graceaniston.org. Go there. There's a Foothills link. You can check out Foothills. There's pictures there, a gallery of photos from the years of all that we do at Foothills. And you can find every kid that comes to camp gets a swimsuit and a beach towel. So you can help sponsor. You can buy swimsuits and beach towels. You can buy snacks. We have trail mix and stuff that they eat throughout the day. They're burning a lot of energy. So we have those needs that you can actually purchase those kind of things, or you can sponsor a child. I think it's $55. You can sponsor a child for day camp. So there's ways to get involved.
If it's only $55 to sponsor a child, you are doing this on a budget. You're doing
Yes,
a good
we are.
job of keeping the cost down. $55 for a week at day camp is a bargain, but of course, the kids, their parents aren't paying for it. And you mentioned earlier about how we kind of get some kids that wouldn't necessarily always be in the same social circles. They may not be going to the same schools and stuff.
Yeah, so yes, we bring kids from all walks of life together that normally wouldn't be together. So we can build bridges in the community. And then people stop becoming those and them. They become, hey, you know their name. You know what they like. Hey, they're a talented singer. They sang in the talent show. You know, you get to know them. I worked with them. I played with them. I got to eat with them. You know, you become connected. And it's really neat. And because we have the two kind of camps, Foothills has been doing this long enough that now kids who participated as day campers are now coming as staffers and working the camp. So that's pretty neat.
That's really awesome when you see that transition and you see a kid that has grown up and matured and is taking on that responsibility and passing on that love that they received. And from everything that my sister-in-law has told me about this, these kids receive a lot of love during this week.
Yes, when they arrive in the buses, there are staffers out at the road waving and cheering for them. When they exit the bus, they're embraced and cheered for, and they go and they find. And by the end of the week, everybody is all smiles and hugs and
made to feel special.
Yes,
and for a lot of kids, there's not enough of that. In some ways, we've got a bunch of kids that get too much of that, and that's another topic that we can get into. But there's a lot of kids out there, especially like we were saying in the homes where, you know, mom may be a single parent or maybe working two jobs, and the parents are giving all the love that they can, but they're limited in how many ways they can give that and how often they can give it. And to have somebody outside of the home bringing in
reinforcing
that, you know, in the home is great. You got to have the love in the home, but you got to have some support outside the home as well, regardless of how much is inside the home. Yeah. So this is great when you've got a place like this where the kids can go and do that. And so again, what are some of the activities that they're doing?
Let's see. When you arrive at camp, we sing, and we have the music, and then we go to the swimming pool, and then after we swim, we head over to like maybe canoeing or zip lining, one of those activities. Then we have lunch, and then we have like a round robin in the afternoon where they go to games. They go to program with emphasizes the theme of the week, and then they have different groups that come in. Sometimes the museum comes in and shows their animals, and they talk about those. Sometimes we do some yoga, some dance. So there's a lot of things that happen. And then our last day is our finale day, Friday. We bring in the inflatables. We have a cookout. The ice cream truck shows up. It's a lot of fun. There's music.
Big party.
Yes, big party at the end.
Cool.
And then we're sad to go home and it's over.
If people want to find out more, we're about out of time, but if they want to find out more online, it's at the graceaniston.org website.
Yes. There's a link there. There's also a Facebook page, Foothills Day Camp on Facebook.
All right, very cool. Well, Matt, thank you. I hope you have the best camp ever.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be back with the Crime Stoppers segment of the show. We'll talk about some property crimes that we need your help with next on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, time for the Crime Stoppers segment of the show. We've got some property crimes that we could use your help solving. Up first, on June 3rd, unknown persons entered a vehicle that was parked at Shipley Road in Anniston. An iPad, some medication, a Dell laptop, and some U.S. currency were taken. Between June 6th and June 10th, about 50 gallons of gas was stolen from a vehicle while it was parked at a location on Highway 431. And on June 11th, a home was burglarized on Smith Street in Oxford. A television, phone charger, and currency were stolen. If you have any information about these cases, again, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers They want your information, not your name, and you could get a cash reward of up to $1,000. The phone number is 256-238-1414.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, it's time for the crazy criminal of the week, and we're going all the way around the world to New Zealand for our criminal this week, where an individual is charged with stealing toes, human toes. Now, not from a living human, fortunately, but this man in New Zealand stole 2 human toes from a dead body exhibit at the Body World's Vital exhibition in Auckland, New Zealand. I don't know why anybody would want to go look at a bunch of dead bodies, but apparently people are doing that. And he is being charged with stealing the toes valued at $5,500. He has since been apprehended. The toes have been returned, and he is charged with stealing the toes and improperly interfering with the dead body of an unknown person. Now, my question is, who decided that 2 human toes are worth $5,500? Is that the average selling price on eBay, or I don't know how you come up with that number. Anyway, that's our crazy criminal for the week. That's all the time that we have for this week. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.